So welcome students, we will start the new unit on our environment. Now when I say environment, what is this environment? If I tell you the environment is so beautiful or the surrounding is so beautiful. The environment is nothing but our surrounding. And according to the surrounding depends the survival of the organism. Suppose if the environment is conducive or the environment is very much positive for the organism to grow, like if there is plenty of water, if there is plenty of food, you can see more biodiversity nearby that area. But if there is less scarcity of water, you can see there will be less number of animals and number of plants. And what is this plants and animals? They are depending on water. Not only water, they also depend upon the soil. So all these factors together we call it as environment. That means there are certain physical factors are there, certain biological factors are there, and there are some chemical factors also. Together they influence the survival of the organism. Example, we will take physical. Physical means if the soil condition is good, more nutrients are there in the soil is good. All come on to the page number 193. So 193 page, everyone should be on 193 page, you can see the definition. So physical factor, biological factor. Biological factor means if there are so many surrounding living organisms are there, that will be more fertile, soil will be more fertile. Then chemical means the pH of the soil. They all together will influence the survival of the organism. So page number 193, we will see what are the, now if I talk about the factors, there are two basic types of factors. What are those factors? You can see on the board I have written, it is abiotic factor. I think in 9th class you have learned about this. Abiotic factor and biotic factors. Abiotic meaning is they are non-living factors. Abiotic is non-living and biotic, see bio means living. So biotic factors are living. So example of abiotic or non-living are land, air, water, sunlight. You can draw it in the form of a flow chart. So you remember abiotic means non-living. This basic keyword you remember, non-living. Biotic meaning is living. What are the abiotic factors in the environment? They are land, air, water and sunlight. Biotic means living. Living means there are two factors, two F's, that is flora, fauna. Flora is nothing but plants. Fauna is nothing but animals. They come under the group of biotic factors. So they both influence one another. That means more sunlight, there will be more plants. That means photosynthesis will be more. So here they influence one another. So more plants, more animals. So flora is nothing but plants, fauna is nothing but animals. And you have seen different habitats, different ecosystem. You have talked about ecosystem in 8th class. So ecosystem is nothing but a different group where you, like you talk about water ecosystem. Water ecosystem, there you have fishes. In water ecosystem, there may be freshwater ecosystem, saltwater ecosystem or marine ecosystem. It differs. So like that ecosystems are there and the place where the animal or the organism lives, that is called as the habitat. So habitat definitions, its certain terms and terminologies in the chapter of environment is important. We are talking about habitat. What is this habitat? Habitat is nothing but in 3 words. Natural, living, place. Short. Or you can tell it in different way. The place where the organism lives is called habitat. If I tell you fish, what is the habitat for fish? Water. If I tell you what is the habitat for birds, what is the habitat for birds? It is air or trees. Like that, there are different habitats for different organisms. So what is this habitat? Habitat is nothing but in 3 words, natural, living, place. So understood what is habitat, everyone? So now if you turn to page 194, if you come on to the page 194, you can see one table form or a flow chart is very clearly explaining the food chain. So what is this food chain? Just see the components in a food chain. First one, you can see that there is a sun. You all know why this sunlight is needed. Plants need sunlight for the production of food. And plants come under the category of producers. base of our food chain. Everywhere the base will be plant. Plant is nothing but producer. So after producer comes the consumer. In consumer there are different levels. The base level is of primary consumer. Isn't it? You started your schooling from primary level, isn't it? Primary. After that you came to secondary school. Secondary, so secondary consumer. After primary consumer, next is secondary consumer. Third level is tertiary consumer. And the last one is called as the top carnivore. Top carnivore means they will eat all. They can eat all. Like man, we come under top carnivore, or we are called as omnivores. So here this diagram or this small flow chart shows us the food chain. So you can explain it in the form of food chain. So and down you can give the example of food chain. See, their example is there. Grass, grasshopper. Look into your textbook, 194 page. Grass, grasshopper, frog, snake, hawk. See, this is one food chain. Only one, no, many food chain you can take. You can take grass, cockroach, or you can take grass, something else. Followed, and you can take frog. After frog, snake. After snake. So this carnivore, top carnivore, it can be hawk, it can be eagle, or the carnivores can change. So number of organisms at every level or at every level of consumer decreases. Just see the example. Grasshopper's number is more. But when you compare it with the next secondary consumer, now if you look at that first food chain, tell me which is the top carnivore? It is hawk. Which is the tertiary consumer? Snake. Secondary consumer? Frog. Primary consumer? Grasshopper. And which is our producer? It is grass. Grass or plant. So you see the level of grasshoppers is more when you compare it with frog. While the number of frog is more than snake. Number of snake is more than hawk. So in this way you can see the number of the organisms in every food chain decreases as we move towards the top level. Now this is all about our food chain. If you look at the food chain, what is a food chain? Food chain is nothing but which shows the relation between the food and the feeder. Now we will take example, food, grass. Which was the primary consumer? Grasshopper. Like that we will go on, food chain will continue and it is always having one arrow. Arrow moves from food to feeder. So who is the food and who is the feeder here? Grass, grasshopper. Again it will go forward. So here food to feeder relationship is called as the food chain. Now this food chain is single. But there are some interconnections also taking place. If you look at figure 2, many food chains can be interconnected to one another also. That interconnections are called as food web. Like spider web. Like that food web also is possible. Just look at page 196, figure 3. 196, figure 3. Food web. See how interlinking is going on. The grass can be eaten by grasshopper. You can see some rabbits coming in roll. You can see some goat coming in roll. Then you can see on the topper level you can see fish. Then you can see frog, birds and other animals also. Interlinking is there. Interlinking means this grasshopper can be even eaten by some birds also. Birds, not only grasshopper can be eaten by frog, but even some birds will eat it. So like that interlinking of food chain is called as food web. Now what is next? That is pyramids, ecological pyramids, that we will do in the next class. Thank you.